Hello and welcome to the premiere episode of the Pick Six podcast. I'm your host, Larry Szynski, and alongside me is none other than my heterosexual NFL life mate. Waiter, 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 waiter.
What is up, guys?
And basically, what we're going to be doing, not so much right now. We still got, about a little less than a month to go till the regular NFL season kicks off. And basically, what we're going to be doing for today's episode is just to, introduce ourselves to you guys out there, and basically who we like, who we don't like, past, present, future, yada yada yada. Your typical, just shoot the shit for a while about this, and then some predictions or whatnot. We'll just take it from there. So I'll hand it over to Mr. Danny over here, who's probably going to end up losing his voice at the end of this first introductory podcast show, because he's got to yell into his microphone because we're still working out some bugs. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, so I'm Danny, and my microphone right now really sucks, so I apologize for that. But we are definitely some huge football fans. I'm definitely a statistics fan as well. So everybody at Pro Football Focus is, I love it. I wish I could be a part of that, but unfortunately, I'm not, a genius, so I can't be a part of that. But I love all the statistics that they bring to the table as well, because they do much more beyond just, yards after the catch. They do yards after the catch with separation. They do how many times did a receiver create separation? How many times did a receiver catch the ball in the air with his chest? How many times did a receiver drop the ball? Like, those stats are not really recorded, but they actually help out in the long run with determining how good a player actually is. And like I said, I also apologize for the quality of my mic. So you're going to hear Larry here, loud and clear, and then you're going to hear the little whisper of me. I'm like that little, passing fart in the breeze. Little...
it's like a queef.
Exactly.
Danny Queefer.
Also, not to go off topic, but we are huge Lions fans, but we also aren't going to be biased.
Speak for yourself there, sir. We're not going to get into this right now because that's a 3-hour war that we really don't want to get into right now.
I'm just saying, we're going to try our best not to be biased.
You ain't got to worry about me. It's you that's going to have to be worried about being biased.
I give credit where it's due. I can go ahead and give credit to another team. I just happen to think that the Lions usually have premier talent, but do they bring it all together? No. It's like they got a stew going on, but they put a bunch of soap and rocks and sticks and call it curry.
But like I said though, this has been 30 years for me, dude, and it's the same thing every year. It's one of those. It's just like people. I don't want to use my place of employment, but if it looks good on paper, that's the way it's going to be, and it doesn't work that way. We have every single year since I've watched Lions football, we have, in my opinion, premier players who can make a solid impact and take us to a Super Bowl, or take us even to the playoffs, the second round or the third round, deeper than 6-10 or 3-13. Every year is the same thing. We have top tier talent, but we either trade them away, Golden Tate, injuries, and just shitty coaching, and not to mention the Fords have to get the hell out of Dodge too. I mean that's where it all starts, and just by this offseason alone, with the transactions that we've had, there's no reason at all why we shouldn't be 11-5 or 12-4, NFC North champions, because of our lineup alone right now. we're beasts every single year, but somehow it always just falls apart. Like even Thursday's game, we lost Kears for the season with a broken leg already,
Yeah,
and it's and our and whatever that backup quarterback's name is, he's done. I don't even pay attention. He's not really Savage. He's done too, and that's the thing. It's the same revolving door every single year. And see, we're already talking about this, and I don't want to get into this right now because it's,
See, the thing is that it is preseason, and yes, it sucks that we lost Jermaine Curse already. We lost Tom Savage. He was probably the better backup that we probably could have gotten in the league, as far as I know. But these things do happen, and we can't get too upset about that because it's preseason. It's before the regular season. I mean, we're not going to pull a Le'Veon Bell, and our players aren't going to not play for a year unless Damian Harrison really feels like he deserves so much more money, which I believe he deserves a little bit more, just because he is the best run defender in the league. Like, there is no doubt about that. The defense became incredibly better as soon as he walked onto the field.
I agree. I agree absolutely.
But I understand where you're coming from. You have 30 years of disappointment.
Just like my love life, actually. Yeah.
Whereas I have, 23 years of disappointment.
See, and that's another reason why I wanted to do this too, because of the age gap between us both. I'm gonna be 41 in a couple weeks, and you're 23.
Yeah.
So I'm basically old enough to be your dad, which we've joked about many times in our personal lives. Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's like but that's the thing, is that it creates that different contrast from new age to old age. You see, I would take 80s football over now any day.
Yeah, no, trust me. I may be younger, but 80s football, from what I've seen from clips and YouTube and ESPN, it is so much more aggressive. So much. It's kind of like how basketball was when Jordan was playing. It was a lot more physicality. There weren't as many fouls or moving and he did me. Because going on a tangent with the NBA, you got LeBron James, who is a freak of nature, yes, but he's also a big crybaby. As soon as someone even just touches him with the tip of their finger, he's like, hey, no, foul right now. And he has so many, made free throws.
I touched you with my fingernail, so I'm gonna dive.
Yeah, and then the amount of people that just flop. In the 80s and even the 90s, you see, people are being physical.
Oh, absolutely.
And then our culture just got kind of soft.
Well, it's not that our culture got soft. It's the fact that, all the NFL PAs and the NBA PAs, they decided, hey, we're going to be less physical and just they basically play for the money now, and that's the bottom line. I mean, that's all it is. I hardly ever see players who actually play their asses off for the love of the game. Like, again, Matthew Stafford is a prime example. He plays it for the love of the game. It was released, what was it, about a month and a half ago. He played with a broken fucking back.
Yeah. Like, no wonder he couldn't do anything, and he only had 3,700, yards. He's out there trying to win for the team because he knows if a backup goes out there, they're not winning.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand Stafford's not a Tom Brady. He's not an Aaron Rodgers. He's not a Russell Wilson, but he's a Stafford. If he went to any other team, he would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was going to say earlier is that I believe that because of Old Man Ford, he wouldn't pay for players, and he wouldn't try to draft to win. He drafted to make money. And you see Martha Ford, she got rid of Caldwell after, he was steady, but they weren't getting anywhere, really. And, we still have not seen what Matt Patricia can really do, because with Caldwell, we had, 4 seasons with him. Whereas Patricia, we only had 1 season.
Yeah, but you also got to factor in, out of the 4 years with Caldwell, we went to the playoffs 3 out of 4 years as well.
Yes,
including the first year winning the NFC North with an 11-5 record. But again, first round of the playoffs, you blow it.
Well, we didn't win the NFC North. We still haven't won that yet. We won 11-5 because we had the Silver Bullet gang still. We had Adamakan Sue. We had what's his name? It was another guy. He went to the New Orleans Saints. Remember, he was also a really good defensive tackle. Ziggy Ansah was going off, and there was someone else on the other side. But we had a dominant defense, and unfortunately, that run ended.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not about then; it's about now, and just by how much the Lions defense improved at the latter half of last year, going into this season with the addition of Snacks and with the addition of Trey Flowers, our defense is going to be a force to be reckoned with this year. Bottom line, for sure. But
That's why I'm excited.
But it's just we need to figure out what's going on offense, and now I'm hoping that Derek Bevel will, to me, not only make a statement, but prove that he is as good as he was when he was with Seattle.
Yep.
You won a championship. You know what I'm saying? But again, Matt Patricia, he has 4 rings with New England,
Yep.
3 rings, and we're still waiting on that. I mean, that was just a total disgraceful season last year.
Yeah.
But
there was a lot of turnover as well with the players.
A lot.
And this offseason, they did get the people that they really wanted. Like, they got Trey Flowers. They're still working on Snacks' contract. Darius Slay is back to practicing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good sign. We actually got a pretty good linebacker that's versatile for any linebacker role in Jelani Tavai, I believe his name is.
That's who it, yeah. Yep.
Everyone thought it was a surprise pick, but he was on a lot of people's boards. Like, even the Patriots were looking for him.
Mm-hmm. You see, it's not that it was a surprise pick to me. Like, for me, this is my downfall. Excuse me. This is my downfall about everything is I don't watch college football except for Michigan. That's all I watch. I really don't pay attention to college football because I'm mainly focused on the NFL.
Yeah.
So when the draft comes around, I have no clue who anybody is. So it's when I was watching the draft on my phone at work, at first I was extremely pissed off because you're wasting your first pick on a tight end when we already have 3 solid tight ends. So why are you going to waste your first pick? See, now what I would have done in that situation, if I was, Bob Quinn or Matt Patricia or whoever was basically in charge of their draft, I would have gone ahead and I would have traded my pick. I would have traded up and I would have grabbed Nick Bosa. That's my personal opinion. That's what I would have done because we need help in that spot, and I think he would have done very, very well. But of course, they rather get a crappy ass tight end in the name of T.J. Hawkinson. But I mean, I can't say he's a crappy tight end. I never watched him play yet, obviously. But it's like, why would you waste your first pick in the first round to a tight end? You just picked up Jesse James. And I still don't agree with that. But then when that second round came up, when we got that guy from Hawaii, like we were like what's his name again?
Jelani Tavai.
Yeah, I'm like, first of all, who the hell is this? I started laughing. I'm like, can you believe this shit? And then I'm like, let me go on break. I'll Google him and see what he's all about. And his numbers are very impressive. I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of damage he's actually going to do.
Yeah, he's a monster, and the thing is that I don't think they could have really traded up because they would have to give up a lot to be able to have the San Francisco 49ers give up that second draft pick because they really wanted Nick Bosa, which is why they took him with the second pick.
Oh, I understand that.
So I'm not sure who we could have traded. I mean,
well, even that linebacker from Michigan.
Yeah, I could.
I forgot his name already too.
There was a lot of.
I'm making myself look very stupid right now for someone.
No, you're fine.
I know, but
we're not analysts.
I know.
Amateur analysts. Anyways, there was Devin Bush. There was Darius Leonard. Darius Leonard went in the second round, and he's going to be a Luke Kuechly in my eyes because he had, I think, 2 or 3 interceptions. He had 3 forced fumbles. he had like 7 sacks. He had over 160 plus tackles for the season as a rookie. But he's also with Indy, so he
Ugh.
they got a lot of good coaching
Oh.
in Indy.
Oh, Indy's. Oh, you're gonna have to watch out for Indy this
I
year.
know.
Oh
But
my
Andrew
Lord.
Luck
Oof.
has been out of practice though. He is
I'm not
still
worried about it
injured.
right now. Like I said, it's preseason. Everything's on the down low. I'm not panicking yet. Just by going off of what they did last year, winning 9 of their last 10 games, and just they ripped ass. And I'm so proud of our former tight end Eric Ebron, who had a career year,
I know.
just totally ripped ass, and I enjoyed it. I'm like, I wasn't expecting much, I'm like, yeah, 2 in a row, yeah, okay, yay. Indianapolis 1-2, whoopty shit. Then it became 3,
Yep.
4, 5. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, so this year, we'll get into it. I already got it set up on my phone, but we'll get into it later. But the Colts are going to be the team to watch for sure.
And see, I feel like they will be as long as Andrew Luck is healthy. If he's not healthy, then they are one of the worst teams in the league. Like when they had Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback because Andrew Luck was hurt, he did a good job, but he didn't really win games.
No.
He's like Andrew Luck. He's injured a lot, but when he's playing, he plays at an MVP level.
Oh
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
he is such a smart. He's the perfect quarterback for Peyton Manning, except he has more injuries than Peyton Manning did.
Oh yeah.
Peyton Manning had that one neck injury that sidelined him, went to the Broncos, and completely tore it up there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Andrew Luck did a great job filling in. Like, he took the team to the playoffs almost every year that he started. But if he can't stay healthy, then I don't see the Colts being all that good because they have built the team around Andrew Luck, but
Yep.
when he doesn't play, they can't win.
Exactly.
A team, I'm not going to say the Browns either, because we already know the Browns
Oh.
are going to be a really good team.
Oh,
Even
yes,
with the
they
new head
are.
coach, yeah,
Oh, they are.
they're just a monster.
Oh my God.
You got Myles Garrett, like already right there. That dude already
Oh.
has 25 sacks in 30-some games. Like,
But it means more to me because I spent 5 years in Ohio.
yeah,
I was in Sandusky. I lived 10 minutes away from Cedar Point in the 80s. The 80s Cleveland Browns I got to live through, which was amazing. Bernie Kosar, Eric Metcalf, Ozzie Newsome, Brian Brennan, and all of them. See, I keep comparing the Browns to the Lions because there's so many similarities. Like in the 80s, Bernie Kosar is what Matthew Stafford is today. He's the 80s. I have to compare the two because they're almost exactly similar. And I already forgot what I was going to say. See, I was on a roll, and I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns and everything like that. There was something about I wanted to come back to Matthew Stafford about, but I forgot what the hell it was.
well, I was just going to say that I think the surprise team would actually be the New York Jets because they acquired Le'Veon Bell. They acquired a lot of defensive talent as well, and they drafted really well. I believe they have Quinnen Williams, a defensive tackle, I believe. And, they revamped their offense as well, so now they have a few stud receivers. And the fact that they have Le'Veon Bell for Sam Darnold, like, Le'Veon Bell is the most patient person ever.
Mm-hmm.
He will. Madden 20 that came out, it's a pretty good game, but I won't really talk about it too much because I don't know if I really can. But anyway.
Yeah, you don't want to digress either.
They have a quote for him because they have superstar abilities. And they have a quote for him saying, the most patient football player, he plays the game in slow motion. And that's true. And that means that Sam Darnold's rookie year was pretty decent, but the fact that he's got a running back that can slow the game down for him, like he can just chuck it, just dump it off to Le'Veon Bell, and Le'Veon Bell will do all the work for him. Like, yeah, he's been out for a year, but I mean, he's one of probably the best versatile back in the league, other than Saquon Barkley. But that's a whole different. That was one year. Nobody knew he was going to be that good. They said he was a transcending talent, but you can't play to that until you actually play the guy, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is how good he is. He's got a bajillion pounds in his thighs for no reason at all, but yet he's still fast. and he hits hard, and he can jump, like he can do everything. But yeah, I think the Jets are going to be the surprise team, and I think they can possibly get second in their division, or even take the AFC. I know they're with the Patriots, but I think they might unseat the Patriots for the crown.
I don't know about that one yet. All I know is, well, I don't want to go. Like I said, I don't want to go too in depth about everything right now. Like I said, I just we just dove right into this bitch, didn't we? We just said fuck all this shit.
This is why it works.
Screw who we are and where we came from. Let's just talk football.
Exactly. That's what I want to do. I haven't talked football
I know.
with anyone.
I know.
I get my buddy and
Oh man, I know you need to get back to Pelzer, man.
Where's Pelzer? I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Da-da-da. Edit.
Anyway.
Edit. Long edit.
Anyway, it's a food place. Anyway,
Yeah.
we have a passion for football, and I'm glad he came up with the idea of doing this podcast together because I like doing blogs and whatnot, but I also like sharing what I love on my channel, which him and I are also going to have a channel just for the podcast. So,
Yeah.
if you guys want to go check that out, I'll have the channel set up. This podcast will be on there as well. But I want to be transparent with you guys, and I always want to share what I love with you guys. But these podcasts, most of the time, are going to be about football. Now, if we ever delve into other things, maybe, but for right now, it's just going to be football. And even during the off season, we might just talk about football or whatever other sports going on that we take an interest in. But as of right now, we're just doing football, and I've said that like 1,000 times.
Yeah, this is all about football.
Yeah.
Is it all? Is it really all about football?
It's literally all about football. That's the name of this podcast. All about football.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. The Pick Six podcast. Yeah, like I said, I was talking with Danny here a few days ago. But this is a project that I've wanted to do for a while because after doing. Oh, by the way, I don't mean the cheap plug, but I have to. I also do another podcast. Feel free to go jump over there. We're called Here Be Spoilers. It's with me, my buddy Derek, and Jake, where each week we pick a movie, we watch a movie, we basically make fun of it and shit all over it for a good hour. It's hilarious. I love doing it. And this is something that I've wanted to do for a while. I not really branch out, but just things that I want to talk about that they don't, because they're not into the sports and everything. They're just flat out nerd guys like I am. But I'm the jockey nerd where. Yeah, sure. I'll sit here and watch football all day long, but I also want to lay down and watch Star Wars. So, but yeah, I mean, this is something that's been in my mind since last season. But it's just at that time I was working 12 hours, 7 days a week. I never had a chance. I had no free time to do it. I even missed my other podcast, which, like I said, by the way, Here Be Spoilers. We've been doing it for about 5 years now. We got a good following. We're all over the world, but unfortunately, we don't get paid for it still. Come on, NPR, help me out. Give us some money here.
You get paid for this though.
Yeah.
Because I need to do my please.
But yeah, like I said, let's take it back to the beginning. Like I said, I've been in football my whole life. I haven't played in high school. It's just been a big thing. It's like my first memory of football was watching the 87 or 88 Raiders versus the San Diego Chargers when Bo Jackson broke his hip. That was my first game that I watched, but I was a big Raiders fan back in the day. Even, and it kind of ventured to, like I said, that's when I was living in Ohio, and then I started watching the Cleveland Browns games. I'm like, yeah. Now we're talking, and I've been hooked ever since. But I got out of the game, oh God, for a long time after the Lions went 0-16. I pretty much gave up on football.
Yeah, that was really rough year.
I'm like, dude, I'm done with football for a while, and I didn't watch football again until a few years ago. When you started coming around and you started watching, like, we're talking football. I'm like, all right, fine. And I'll start watching football again. And I mean, it's fun to watch, but like I said, it's just not as intense as it was in the 80s and 90s, where you just go ahead and clothesline a motherfucker, and I do miss the violent part of football. I really do, because that's what got me into it to begin with. And then of course Barry Sanders with his 70-yard runs every game. So yeah,
People look stupid on the field
yeah.
all the time.
Mm-hmm. But a team, I mean, you say anything you want about the New England Patriots. I've never in my entire life been a New England Patriot fan, ever. Never in my entire life. I mean, I'm talking about not even Tom Brady. I'm talking about Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
I just never liked that organization, period. I've never been a fan. It's not like I hate, everybody bitching about the Patriots winning all the championships. Tom Brady this, Tom Brady that. It goes way beyond that for me. I never liked him. Never cared for him, and I never will. But here we go. I mean, it's like, and that's my main issue. That was one of my main issues when I read the other day that fucking Tom Brady signed a 2-year extension. Why? You have nothing to prove. You got 5 fucking rings. You don't need anything more. Go home and be a family man. Take care of your kids and your wife. Get the hell out of Dodge, man. You're not needed anymore.
Yeah, who's to say you don't get a helmet to the head on accident, and all of a sudden you're concussed and you can't function anymore?
God, I hope so.
You know,
I'm sorry, but
no, it's fine. And I also don't think Tom Brady is like. Of course, he's the one that has to throw the ball, and he has to predict when the receiver is, doing his cuts and everything. But I really think that it's because of Bill Belichick that Tom Brady is as good as.
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like Bill Belichick, the way he runs practices and the way that he does things, is that everyone does their job. It's the basics,
Mm-hmm.
You see it at work, you see it at stores. If you do your job. Just your job, everything falls into place.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you see that with the Patriots. Like, it's not like they draft star-studded players. Every year you see that they may have 1 or 2 Pro Bowl players, but that's about it. Like running backs, they don't have premier running backs. They have running backs that do a specific job.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sony Michel. He's probably the most complete running back that they've ever drafted, in my opinion. But they still didn't use him like that. James White, they used him as a receiving back completely, and he did his job. He caught the ball, he was elusive, and he did his job. Rex Burkhead, who'd have thought that, first carry of a game in the playoffs, he runs for like 30 yards. It's because he did his job. The offensive line, they don't really go to the Pro Bowl a lot, and they're not really that good, but they just do their job. You don't have to be a good player to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
If you're told, put your hands here for 2 seconds, you put your hands there for 2 seconds, you get the job done. And that's what Bill Belichick coaches is do your job. Whereas, all these other coaches, they're trying to do these fancy different things, or they're trying to do things differently. But if you just watch how he coaches, he just has them do their job. And Tom Brady, like I said, he's got to make all the throws, but it's like Bill Belichick makes it easy for him. Bill Belichick drafts for him. He knows Tom Brady isn't bombing the ball down the field all the time. He's more of a, dunk and pass type of quarterback. He's more of, maybe 30 yards, maybe. But, he drafts people for that. He drafts people like Julian Edelman. Nobody thought Julian Edelman would be good, and then they draft him in the 7th round, and boom, he becomes a Super Bowl winner.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple times, and he's even won some, not really receiving awards, but he's won. I think he's been to a couple of Pro Bowls, and he's been a really good receiver. But I don't know, like for the Patriots, I don't really like them, but I can respect Bill Belichick. But I really don't believe Tom Brady is as good as he, seems to be. He just does his job.
Plus, he gets away with murder.
Oh, yeah, true.
He's Mr. Poster Boy. So.
Oh, of course. He's the reason why there's Tuck rule.
Yeah, you had the Tuck rule. Then you had the other one from a couple years ago too. I don't remember which one it was because you had the Tuck rule. Then you had the passing interference, I think, thing with him. But it was like, oh yeah, we got to change that. We don't want Tom Brady getting hurt.
Now, Aaron Rodgers, though, I think Aaron Rodgers is probably the best quarterback in the league. because he can scramble and he can do it with nobody around him as well. He can also get away from people because he has surprising speed as well. Like if you watch his gameplay, you can actually see him sprinting past people, and it's like, whoa, where'd this come from? But then his touchdown to interception ratio is crazy. He's not even close to 100 interceptions, but he's close to about 380 touchdown passes, though, and that's insane. I love Stafford, but he's not an Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers doesn't put up a bunch of yards, but he gets his job and everyone else's job done. Okay, he makes his receivers look good. Like Jordy Nelson is a good receiver, but as soon as he went to Oakland to another quarterback, done.
Yeah, exactly.
Sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, Devontae Adams, he's a really great quarterback or receiver, and he's great for Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers had to deal with 2 rookie receivers last year, and I'm not a Packers fan. I'm not really an Aaron Rodgers fan. I can just respect that he's probably the best quarterback in the league because he had 2 pretty decently fast receivers, but he also made them look good as well. Like they both almost had 1,000 yards receiving between the 2.
Okay, we're gonna have some fun. Okay, you gave me an idea. Rapid fire, top 5 quarterbacks. Go.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck if healthy, Phillip Rivers, and Drew Brees. I would probably put Drew Brees at second though.
Interesting. Because with how much you suck Stafford's dick, you didn't mention Stafford in your top 5.
Stafford is top 10, and I would put him at 8. I would not put Patrick Mahomes in the top 5 though. I'd probably put Patrick Mahomes at like 9 or 7.
Okay.
I think Patrick Mahomes is also a product of a winning offense because one, he had Tyreek Hill. He has all kinds of fast receivers. He also has Travis Kelce, which is probably
He's beast.
yeah.
I love Travis Kelce with every fiber of my being.
Swagger, he's got the skill set.
I want to have his baby.
Yeah, exactly. And then the running backs there do
I know.
jobs too,
They are just incredible.
And yeah, that's why I didn't list Patrick Mahomes in the top 5.
See, I would have.
Okay, how about this? Top 5 running backs in the league, go.
Ooh, god damn.
Yeah, that could be a tough one.
Oh, that's hard. Oh my god. Edit. There's so many good running backs.
No, okay.
This is a hard one.
Well, okay, I'll give you mine. Okay.
Let me do my top 5 quarterbacks.
Okay.
Let me do it that way
Okay,
first.
top 5 quarterbacks, and then
But
I'll
it won't be a rapid fire because I'm older. My brain doesn't work as fast as you do.
There's big brain time.
I'm gonna have to go. Let's see. Starting with number 5, Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, yeah.
But he's definitely gonna be on the decline, and it kind of makes me sad because the Steelers are now completely finished.
Yeah, I put him as 6 for me.
Number 4. Who would I go with number 4? I would go Jared Goff. 3, Patrick Mahomes. Shut the fuck up. This is I didn't go during your list.
I respect your list.
We're at number 2 now, right?
Number 2.
Number 2 quarterback. I'm gonna go with Dak Prescott.
I'm shocked.
Why?
Because Dak Prescott, if you watch him.
Or not Dak Prescott. I'm sorry, Russell Wilson.
Okay.
No, Russell Wilson.
Dak Prescott is probably
Yeah.
like 20.
Yeah, Russell Wilson at number 2, and
Yep.
like I said, my number 1's Patrick Mahomes. True 2 is Drew Brees. 1 is Patrick Mahomes.
So you have Drew Brees as 3.
I have Drew Brees. No, I'm gonna go Drew Brees at 2. I'm gonna put Russell Wilson at 3. Drew Brees no.
Okay.
God damn it, you're screwing me up.
Okay,
This is what I'm going. This is what I'm gonna do.
Start at 5.
I already forgot.
Okay, you did Jared Goff,
Jared Goff at 5.
Patrick Mahomes.
No. Did I go Patrick Mahomes at 4?
Yeah, you did Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes at 4. See, you are. See,
What else did you
See what happens when you.
Just do top 5 all over.
Oh my
You
God.
said Jared 5. Jared Goff.
Jared 5.
Jared Goff at 5.
Oh Jesus Christ! Now I forgot, and I still don't have any data on my phone.
Oh no, you did Ben, Jared,
Oh yeah.
Patrick, Russell, and then for some reason you said Patrick again. But I think you probably meant Ben, Jared, Breeze.
No.
No, Russell, Breeze,
Russell.
Patrick.
Okay, it's gonna go Russell, Mahomes, and Breeze. Drew Brees. Oh, you know what? Oh man, I want to do that over. I forgot about Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, I took Philip.
Oh damn, that's gonna go in my top 5.
I forgot to put Aaron Rodgers in mine.
There's a lot of them.
About him
So-
being like,
So fuck it. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna keep with those 5. I'll go 5 Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, we'll do it this way: 5 Ben Roethlisberger,
Yep.
4 Phillip Rivers,
Yep.
3 Russell Wilson,
okay,
2 Patrick Mahomes, and 1 Drew Brees.
all right,
There.
okay.
There's my top 5 quarterbacks.
All right.
And it only took 20 minutes to do it.
Oh, there you go. All right, well, I'm gonna do top 5 running backs then.
Okay.
I think 5. I think Le'Veon Bell is gonna have a great year. So I
You-
think he's
you-
gonna be 5.
You think so?
Yep. 4. I would probably put. Man, that's a tough one because
It is. Running backs, yeah.
I think I would probably put Nick Chubb because I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. Because last year he had a quiet year. I can't put Kerryon Johnson. I would probably.
He'd be in my top 10.
Yeah. Let's see. Number 3. I would probably put Todd Gurley because I think he's starting to slow down. Number 2 would be Alvin Kamara.
Absolutely.
Let's see. So number one would probably have to be Saquon Barkley from what I saw. He put up 1,300 yards in his rookie season, plus another 800 yards receiving. Plus, I believe he had like 15 touchdowns altogether.
Okay.
And he was just electrifying. Like, it's just running backs are hard because
They are.
they can be up, they can be down. I mean, shoot, I have Frank Gore as number 6 though because even as an old man, he's still.
Oh, he's
producing
still
at
killing
a
it,
high
dude.
level. And
Absolutely.
I think if he really wanted to, he could probably go for that. That rushing yards record.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, he might have to be in the league for like another 5 years, but I mean, hey, he's outlived everybody so far.
He's right up there with Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I had them on my fantasy teams back in 2003,
Yeah.
and here we are, 17 years later almost, and they're still there.
I know. And
That's
running backs are
amazing.
supposed to be done after like 10 years.
I know it.
And yet, here's Frank Gore still putting up like 900 yards a season.
I know it.
And even Adrian Peterson, he put 1,000 yards last
Mm-hmm.
year. And 7 touchdowns too. Like they're still kicking.
Oh yeah.
Now Adrian Peterson, he was out for a couple years
Mm-hmm.
because of the situation, and unfortunately for him, he probably could have stayed in shape, and he probably could have still ran for like 1,500 yards both those seasons and climbed the ladder, but because of what happened, he was out and he lost that time. But who's to say he can't go back to that form,
Right.
Like, age hits everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but, I mean, let's talk about Jerry Rice for a quick second.
Yeah.
Okay, this man was always fit. He was always ready. And he ended up with, 1,500 catches, 22,000 receiving yards, and 197 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
No one is near those numbers at all.
No.
Nobody. Like, Larry Fitzgerald has, I think, 1,200 or 1,300 receptions, and he's about to be done too.
Yeah.
Like, nobody is close to Jerry Rice. He's the embodiment of work hard, play hard.
Right.
Like, he could have still probably played till this day. Probably could have been in the league for 30 years, but he probably would have got tired of it. Oh, I'm always winning everything. Oh, I have a record forever. Oh, but it's like you don't see people putting in the work like he did. Like he made sure he could play for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and he was always good. I mean, shoot, he said that he got good at catching, the football because his dad would throw him bricks, and he would have to catch the bricks.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's crazy. Like he was in the league, I think, 20 years. He put up those types of numbers. Like not even Randy Moss is even close to the receiving yards or even receiving touchdowns. I think he has like 140 something.
Right.
Terrell Owens, he has 130, 140, and they're just not close. Like, and they were in the league for a while too. Like Terrell Owens, I think he was in the league for 13 years or something. Randy Moss was in for about the same time. And they would have to be in the league for like another 5, 6 years to be able to catch up to him.
Pretty much, yeah.
They just couldn't, and it was insane. We are coming up to the 40-minute mark.
Yeah, we'll keep going. Cause like I said, I got to do my top 5 now,
Okay.
which I'm still working on here because there's again this is the harder part of your top 5. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, defense, yada yada yada. This is the hardest one to really do because there's so much. There's so many differences between each running back that you like watching. So, oh man, top 5 running backs. I think for number 5, I'm gonna have to go with LaShawn McCoy from Buffalo.
Okay.
I think he has some serious skill.
Yep.
He's an elusive back, which I want to see him in a different jersey though. It's one of those situations where he'd be better off somewhere else than where he's at.
Yeah, especially since it's a crowded backfield now with Frank Gore and there was a former superstar. Sorry to cut you off. A former superstar rugby player that just had his only carry in the preseason went for 65 yards for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a loaded backfield. Anyway, number 5, LaShawn.
Yep. Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with Le'Veon Bell at number 4.
Okay.
I feel really uneasy about him being with the Jets. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be the right fit for him. I don't know. If this was last season, I would have put Le'Veon Bell at number 2 easy.
Yep.
But I'm gonna have to put Le'Veon Bell at number 4. I'm gonna go with Alvin Kamara at number 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go. If he plays, number 2 Ezekiel Elliott, which is another thing I wanted to touch on too before I get to my number 1. Why? Why are you would you rather sit out the 2019 season because you want more money when you're not even in a contract year yet? You still got 2 years left, buddy. You get your ass out there and you play. I can understand it if you're in a contract year, that's one thing.
Yep.
But now if I was Jerry Jones right now, I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to franchise tag your ass right there, right now.
Yep.
So here you go. Either you want it or you can get out.
And he's had some issues off the field as well.
Mm-hmm.
So him sitting out just doesn't really make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, his rookie year he had 1,600 yards, and the next year I believe 1,300. And the year after that only 900. So he really isn't being consistent on the field.
That's why it's always about the money.
I think we need to see him be more consistent before he can start asking for more money. But anyway, number 1.
My number 1, and I love this guy to death, Christian McCaffrey. He is a stud and a half. He has done things for Carolina that just, I love this guy. There is nothing I do not like about Christian McCaffrey.
That's true. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
He does everything for Carolina as well. He's been their best receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He's been their best running back. He's been there for everything. He's even a really good blocker as well.
Oh, yeah. He can do it all. Oh, I forgot about Mark Ingram.
Yeah, he's with the Ravens now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that's a crowded backfield as well with Lamar Jackson. He likes to take off a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to find a way to implement Mark Ingram as the power back. Someone I would compare Christian McCaffrey with, even though he's not as fast as Christian, but Zach Zenner. Yes, it's another Lions boy, but I think he is a very, very underrated running back.
Oh,
Every
absolutely.
time he goes in there, he produces. And yet, the Lions have went ahead and Like last season, they went ahead and got LeGarrette Blount. Why? You had Zach Zenner.
Yeah.
Zach Zenner has been really good for the Lions, and if he had more of a chance, he would produce for them. He could be a 1,000-yard running back. Now we have Kerryon Johnson, so. But I believe Zach Zenner could be a starting running back for any team.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
But all right, so I guess we'll end it off with our top 5 receivers.
Well, we're not going to end it. I'm not done yet, but go ahead. Do your top 5 receivers. I'll do mine.
Okay, my top 5 receivers. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb. Kenny Galladay at number 5.
Wow.
Because rookie year.
You're throwing that ball out, aren't you?
Second year, even with tight coverage, every time Stafford threw him the ball, he caught it. He punched out an interception.
Oh, I know.
First game. And I think he has a lot of upside. I don't think he's going to be a Calvin Johnson.
Oh, he does. There will never be another Megatron ever.
Number 4.
I don't see top 5. I mean, I can see top 10, but this is another one that we're just gonna have to see because, yeah, we'll see.
Top number 4, I would say Odell.
Okay.
Because I think he's really good, but he's also in a crowded team as well.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, let me just pick my brain. I would say Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has produced with very little talent, and Dak Prescott may not be that good, but he's better than Derek Carr in my opinion. And I think he's going to be even more explosive with the Cowboys. Number 2, I would put Julio Jones. Switch that. Number 4, I would put Antonio Brown. And number 1, because this guy has been silent and nobody talks about him like they should, DeAndre Hopkins at number 1.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, he is the best receiver because he has taken every type of talent. Good quarterbacks, terrible quarterbacks, all right quarterbacks. Now with Deshaun Watson, probably going to be a really good quarterback. Maybe elite one day, maybe, but that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
That's iffy. But
Right.
Anyway, he has produced 1,000-yard seasons all the time. You know, I would have put Mike Evans into the top 5 as well, but I think Galladay will start producing a lot more. I think he's going to keep getting consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Mike Evans is really good. He's had, I think, 1,200 yards every season from his rookie year to now, but I feel as if Kenny Galladay, with how he plays and how physical he is, and how he is more team-orientated, because I would rather have a team player than someone that produces and we still lose.
Right.
Because at least Galladay, he saw that interception, he punched it right out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we kept the ball. You know, that's the tenacity that, you know, I like to see.
Right.
But, yeah, that's my top 5. And I think DeAndre Hopkins is definitely the best receiver over Julio Jones as well.
Interesting. I'm kind of digging that top 5. I think that one's the best one out of all of them that you've done so far. That's a very interesting mix right there. I'm digging that. On to mine. I'm gonna start with number 5 with Juju Smith-Schuster.
Okay,
He had an amazing year last year, and that's basically right now, in my opinion, Pittsburgh's only hope.
Yeah.
Because they don't have anything right now. I want to put Stephon Diggs at 4, but something is just telling me no. He's on it. He's on and off.
Adam Thielen does a better job than he.
Yeah, I think so too. Number 4, I'm gonna go with T.Y. Hilton.
Yep,
He put on those afterburners last year with the Colts, and their run to the playoffs. It was just unbelievable. I love watching T.Y. Hilton. I'm hoping to see more of that this year. Again, if Andrew Luck stays healthy.
Yep, they call him the ghost for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see him, now you don't.
Oh yeah. Number 3, I'm still going with Larry Fitzgerald. because old school man. He's going to be what 48 this year, or 47? Not 47. What the hell am I thinking about? I'm way off on that. It's like 38, 39, somewhere around there. And he's still killing it over there in Arizona, man. And God bless him.
I know.
Like I said, I was 22, 23 when he first showed up in the league. I had him as one of my receivers in one of my first ever fantasy football, and 2003 I think it was. So you're looking at what, almost 16 years.
And he also made a promise to either his mom or his grandma, whichever one raised him, that even if he entered the NFL, he would still finish his degree, which he did.
Oh yeah, he did. Oh yeah. I'm at number 3 now, right?
Yep.
So this is number 2.
Yeah,
This is number 2. OBJ.
I can see it.
But again,
highlight reel.
it's new team. New teams can either help you or kill you.
Yep.
That's the thing, and I'm iffy on putting him at number 2, but I always liked OBJ, and that's where I'm going to keep. Antonio Brown's not going to go on the list just because of the fact I hate his fucking attitude. I think he's a piece of shit, all about fucking being a sarcastic, egotistical, money-hungry bastard. I'm sorry, I dislike the guy for every fiber of my being. And he's not my top 100. And my number 1 is Julio Jones. Julio Jones, he's always steady. He's always the guy to go to. And yeah, that's gonna be that's my top 5 receivers.
I kind of want to pick your brain for a second. Why is it that you didn't have DeAndre Hopkins on your list?
Because I really don't know much about him.
Okay, fair enough. Can't just put someone on the list.
Right, just because of the name, I don't do it that way.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's why
Right.
say he deserves more credit, because not a lot of people know him because he's in Houston and nobody really talks about the Houston Texans.
Oh, you will this year.
Of course.
Absolutely.
He's almost a highlight reel himself.
Oh yeah.
He did 4 different spins out of tackles. It was funny to watch. It was whoop,
Oh yeah.
whoop. But I don't know if you want to take this to a close.
Nope. There's one more thing I want to do.
Okay.
Because I really don't know when we're going to get together next, seeing as how this is just preseason.
Yeah.
There's one thing that I do want to do. What we're going to do to end it is I'm going to go by each division, okay? And I want to know which team you like out of each division to take the division. And then after that, I want to go to. I'll explain it. When we get into it. So let's start off with the AFC East. You got Buffalo, Miami, New England, and the Jets.
I like the Jets. Easy pick.
I see you're taking the Jets to take the division over the Patriots.
Yep. And I see the Bills taking second. I see the Patriots taking third, and I see the Dolphins. They're definitely rebuilding right now.
Oh yeah, they're another team that they're like the South version of the Lions.
Yep.
Every year they're in a rebuilding season. Now me on the other hand, I hate to say it, but I will not go with the Patriots at number 1 because again I dislike the Patriots with every fiber of my being. But I'm going to go with Buffalo. I think Buffalo is going to be a very massively improved team this year, and it's going to be amazing to watch them play. So I'm going to go Bills number 1, Jets number 2, Patriots 3, Dolphins 4.
Okay, we agree.
Most of it, yeah.
We agree the 2 should be at the top and the other 2 should be at the bottom, and they're exactly how we think.
Right. All right, let's move on to the AFC West. Denver Broncos, Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Chargers, and the Raiders. Ooh, man, that's going to be tough.
All right, so I put the Chargers on top because Phillip Rivers is definitely a better version of Stafford, and he does a much better job of it.
Mm.
He definitely has that Aaron Rodgers talent where he can make his players better. And he does have a stacked defense now. He has a stacked wide receiver core. And I believe if Melvin Gordon can just up his game just a tad bit, he's a touchdown machine. But if he can help push drives longer, I believe the Chargers take first. I believe the Kansas City Chiefs take a real hard second. I believe the Broncos do better this year. I believe they can be an 8-8 team this year, depending on if they play Joe Flacco or Drew Lock. But I think they're going to stick with Joe Flacco regardless. I think they're going to go 8-8 in third, and then who was the last team?
The Raiders.
Yeah, they're also rebuilding as well.
Again.
Ron Gruden can say whatever he wants, but he's rebuilding.
I agree with you on the most part, but I'm still taking my Chiefs to take first.
Okay.
Like I said, the Chiefs are just a force to be reckoned with all the way across the board. Offense, defense, special teams. They are a complete team. Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill alone are just, oh my God, it's amazing. I'm taking the Chiefs to take the division, the Chargers in a close second, and then the Broncos and Raiders. Okay. Now this is my division to watch. The AFC North. The Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and Steelers. This is going to be a very, very interesting division for this season.
So, of course, the tie would be the Ravens and the Browns. I believe they both make the playoffs. But I'm going to have to give the edge to the Browns because I feel they are the more complete team.
Oh, yeah.
Because their defense, they have Denzel Ward at cornerback. Like I said, they have Myles Garrett. That's a transcending talent as well. Even though he was injured and he missed games, he still produced.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even like he produced in meaningless games. He produced in meaningful games.
Oh, absolutely.
They have Nick Chubb. They have Kareem Hunt at running back. They have Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, but the downfall of that is you're not going to see Kareem Hunt until the halfway point of the season.
They have Jarvis Landry.
I know it.
They have OBJ.
Oh my God.
They have a stacked offense.
Keep talking dirty, baby.
They got Pro Bowlers at literally every position.
They do. They do. But again, like I said, this is one of those situations. It's all on paper. But but go ahead, continue.
The Ravens, I would say, take the second. Like I said, I think they still make the playoffs, but I think they're a wild card because their defense had a lot of turnover this last year. They lost Terrell Suggs, their best defensive player, their longest standing defensive player. They lost C.J. Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who's on their defensive tackle. They lost Eric Weddle.
Yep.
You know, he's with, I believe, the Chargers now, and they replaced him. They have Earl Thomas. Okay, yes, he's great, but he's also been injured the past 2 years. So he's not a part of Legion of Boom anymore.
No.
So I would give them the second. I would give the Steelers the third, and the Bengals are just repeatedly.
Yeah.
I think they're even worse than the Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually we're in agreement in the AFC North. I'm going with the Browns, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Bengals in last. I agree with that one.
I think the Steelers can possibly make a wild card push.
I don't think so.
I think they go 8-8 though. I think they go 8-8.
I don't.
Trying to figure themselves out.
I don't think so. I'm sorry to say that because I liked watching the Steelers too, but I think this one's over with. All Roethlisberger's got is juju.
Yep.
That's all he's got left. He doesn't have a running game. He doesn't have a solid 2 or 3 running back. That's all he's got. So I'm looking at them to be maybe 6-10, maybe.
I can see that.
So, but yeah, I'm in agreement with you. I'm going to go with Browns, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Steelers. Okay. On to the AFC South. Texans, Colts, Jaguars, and Titans.
Wow. Honestly, any one of those teams can take first in their division.
Yes.
Let's see, the Texans.
Because you got to remember the Jaguars now have Nick Foles.
Yeah, and who was the last team?
The Titans.
The Titans, man.
That's another tough division right there.
Mariota, he's not a transcending talent, but he extends the game. He can run and he can throw pretty decently, and all of them have defenses that.
And not only that, Mariota's also in a contract year.
Yeah.
So he's going to be playing his ass off. to keep wanting a spot on the Titans roster. So, this one's gonna be this. I think this one's gonna be the hardest one out of all of them in the AFC right now.
You'll probably really question me on this, but the Colts, I'm just going to tell you now, if Andrew Luck is hurt or he's not 100% and they're still trying to push him into a starting role, I put them in third in the division. Because their defense is becoming great, but I don't believe they have a quarterback that can take them to the next level without Andrew Luck. I would put the Houston Texans first because with Deshaun Watson being healthy, with J.J. Watt, with Jadeveon Clowney,
Oh yeah.
with I think Tyrann Mathieu is still with them, or he went somewhere else. I'm not quite sure, but they have a really good secondary. I can't remember who they have as running back, but I take them as leading that division. But I think because of how good they all are, I take them as leading the division, but only at 9-7.
Really?
Yes, because that division is rough. Okay, I think
Yeah.
the Jaguars going second because of Nick Foles.
Yep.
He just has to be a little bit better than Blake Bortles.
Oh, he's 10 times better than Blake Bortles.
Leonard Fournette and Chris Ivory together, I believe they make one of the perfect 1-2 punches because Leonard Fournette is fast and hits hard, and Chris Ivory is just a wrecking ball.
Yep.
He doesn't get a lot of yards, but he will get positive yards.
Foles is going to make people famous.
And their defense.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, their defense is phenomenal.
Yep.
Jalen Ramsey. Who's that other guy? I can't remember his name, but opposite of Jalen Ramsey, he's a Pro Bowl caliber one as well. You got a stacked defensive line. Like you got what's his name? Calais Campbell. He just gets better with age. You got really good defensive linemen. The safeties are decent enough that if they need to make a play, they will, but they won't always make plays. Whereas Jalen Ramsey will always be by the ball.
Yeah.
He will always shut down the number one receiver unless he's playing A.J. Green. A.J. Green is probably the best one-on-one receiver. Double coverage, no, he's not. He can't do it. One-on-one, though, he can get any type of separation. Maybe not every play. And then, who was the last team? The Titans?
Yep.
But I would say 9-7 Houston, 9-7 Jaguars, 7-9 Colts. Because with their defense, I still see them winning games. And then the Titans, I see them. Actually, I'm gonna have to put the Colts at the bottom, and I put the Titans.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
I just can't see them winning without Andrew Luck like that.
Yeah.
And given his injury history, I can't trust them.
Yeah, we're me and you are going to be at totally different sides on the AFC South this year for sure. I'm actually going to go with the Jags on top. Nick Foles is a stud. He can make anybody famous. I'm a huge Nick Foles fan, and Philly, y'all fucked up. You got rid of the wrong quarterback. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Jaguars at number 1. Number 2, I'm going to go with the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I was very impressed with the way they ended it. 3, I'm going to go with the Colts because again, I'm in total agreement with you with Andrew Luck.
Yep.
If he doesn't stay healthy, they're screwed. So, and then number 4 is Titans.
I can see that.
So, but it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be a very close division.
Yeah. If
I mean,
Luck is healthy, I see them 12-4.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see a 3-13 or a 4-12 team in this division at all.
No,
This is going to be the nail biter for the nail biter division this year. 9-7 or better, all the way across the board. I mean, all 4 of these teams are playoff teams, so that's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, all right, let's move on to the NFC now. Oh yeah, here we go. NFC East. The Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles, and the Skins. Could this possibly be the division of the worst records in the NFL this year?
Yeah, I see Philly taking it. I see them because Carson Wentz is a really great quarterback, and he was a Division II collegiate player, and somehow he still came onto the scene. And
I get that, but he's always hurt,
he's always hurt as well.
and now you don't got Foles.
But I see them as a 10-6 team because their defense is still stacked. They have receivers. They have a plethora of running backs. So whoever they put in at quarterback, because Doug Peterson, I think, is not Bill Belichick, but I think he does a really good job coaching as well. So I put them at a 10-6 for winning the division. I put the Cowboys at 9-7. I don't like the Cowboys. I think for them it's just a money market, like hardcore. Because Jerry Jones just says, "Yeah, we'll just buy him." I don't think Dak Prescott is a real good quarterback. I think Zeke Elliott, weird name, but I don't think he's great. I think he's good, but I think he's too full of himself. So I think that's going to be his downfall. Their defense is good though. They have Lander, Van Ash, or whatever his name is.
Van Der Esch.
Van Der Esch.
And funny story, I don't mean to interrupt or digress, but our high-low driver, Lauren Van Der Esch, is his cousin. They are related, and that's amazing. I'm like, why don't you call him up and say, "Hey, man, we're related. My cousin hooked me up." I keep telling that every time we see him because I'm like, hell yeah, man, you're his cousin.
I know, that's insane.
And I did a side-by-side picture because what I did was I Googled him, right? And then I put up the picture of him next to Lauren. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. Almost like brother-type cousin lookalikes, man. It was unbelievable. This is why I don't like to digress.
No, it's hard to say for the Redskins and the Giants. I feel like they both go 5-11 because I think Daniel Jones was a risky pick, and we're gonna have to see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see any playmakers other than Saquon Barkley on their team, defense or offensively wise. And the Redskins, they're trying to figure out who they are. They don't know if they're a passing team. They don't know if they're a running team.
Yeah, well, but see, that's the thing, though, is that's the thing that's really going to hurt and actually really shock me is that you didn't go for a quarterback, which really.
What do you mean?
I mean, who do they got?
Oh, the Redskins, they have Dwayne Haskins. They have, what's his name?
Kirk Cousins.
No.
No.
Kirk Cousins. He's with the Vikings.
Yeah, that's right.
What's his name? He played for the Vikings. Then Kirk Cousins came in. He played for the Rams.
Oh, Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Never mind. Retract what I said.
If they had Alex Smith,
he's done, man. I hate to say it. Because he pulled some shit out of his ass, man. He's an amazing quarterback. To see him go down like that, man, just.
And then now he might not even have his leg because of a bad infection. But if he was in, I would say yes. I don't think Dwayne Haskins is ready yet for a starting role, so that's why I give him 5-11 because Case Keenum bombed in Denver. So they don't really have running backs. Jordan Reed, their tight end, he's still a transcending talent, but he's injured, and he doesn't play hard like he should.
Right.
They got rid of most of their receivers, so, I don't think they know who they are, so I see them and the Giants being 5-11, but I see the Redskins at the bottom. I see the Giants at third. Like I said, I see the Cowboys not making the playoffs, but I see the Eagles going 10-6 and winning the division.
Well, on my side of the coin here, I am going not really completely opposite. I just feel like none of these teams are going to actually do a damn thing this year. Especially the Cowboys are up in the air because of the whole Ezekiel Elliott thing, which we discussed earlier. If he sits out for the year, you can forget it. And even if he does come in, he's going to play at his pace and the way he wants to because he doesn't get paid enough. Motherfucker, come over here and do my job for a month.
Yep.
So I have a major issue with that. I almost want to kick them all the way down to fourth right off the rip, but I'm not going to do that. Um, I'm going to say the Eagles will take number one,
Yep.
but barely. I'm not going to say 10-6. I'm going to say 9-7, maybe. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go Eagles, Giants. The Giants are going to turn it around this year. I have a feeling because, especially with Eli Manning having something to prove and getting what's his name.
Daniel Jones.
Yep. I think the Giants are going to be massively improved there. So I'm going to say, yep, the Eagles, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Redskins.
The Redskins are just.
The
I
Reds.
don't know who they are.
No. All right, on to the NFC West.
Oh,
Really, there's really no shockers to me here. And you got the Cardinals, the Rams, the Niners, and Seahawks. So,
man. Okay. So, I don't believe in the Kyle Murray hype,
me neither.
and I think the Seahawks are done. And what was it, the 49ers and who else?
Rams.
The Rams? Okay, I see to be a shock. If Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, even if he's not, I see the 49ers being top of the division,
What?
going 11-5.
Are you kidding me?
You have not seen their defensive line. They have Nick Bosa. They have
I understand
DeForest
that, but
Buckner.
dude,
They
over
have a stacked linebacker core. They have a great secondary with Richard Sherman. They have great safeties. They got George Kittle, who set the tight end record for most receiving yards in a season. He had a lot of touchdowns as well. I can't remember how many, but it was really good. They got really nice receivers. They got a huge running back corps, and I think any one of them could be 1,000-yard rushers. They have a great offensive line with Joe Staley, who anchors it. I mean, I see them going 11-5 and winning the division. Then I see the Rams at 10-6. I think the Rams make the playoffs, but I don't. If they don't have C.J. Anderson, so they don't have anyone to back up Todd Gurley. I don't think Todd Gurley will stay in the Los Angeles Rams now. I don't think he stays with the Rams because they were holding him out and they didn't really use him a lot in the playoffs.
because he was hurt.
I mean, I don't know. I don't see him in the team that long. I think they have good receivers. I think they have a good defense, but I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year.
Well, yeah, that is kind of true. You lost friggin' Dominic Sue too.
You know,
So
they do have Aaron Donald though. So
yeah.
I think,
Oh yeah, he ain't going
I
nowhere.
think he's going to keep producing and keep them in games. But
Yeah.
I don't think they can win. I don't think Jared Goff can really win like that. I give the Seahawks the third spot. I give them the benefit of the doubt because of Russell Wilson, because he can make things happen with his feet or with his arm. He can do both at any time.
Yep.
And they also have Chris Carson, who is actually a really good running back, who is starting to get into that top 10 tier. I don't think he's there yet, but I think if they play him more, and I think if he acts like he wants to play more, he can be in that top tier running back. And then the last team is the one that I forgot about, which would be
The Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
As every year.
I don't believe in Kyler Murray.
It's not just Kyler Murray. It's just, to me, and I've talked to my dad about this because him and my stepmom spends the fall and winter in Arizona, so
Yeah.
they watch the Arizona Cardinal games, and I rag on them all the time about it because I in the off season I was telling them you got this guy, you got this guy, you got this guy. I'm like, basically what it boils down to, Dad, is like, this is the team where players go to die.
Yeah.
When they're
Terrell Suggs is there now.
That's what I'm saying. This is where all these old veterans they flock down to Arizona just to finish out their career and say sayonara. Yeah, this is the team where players go to die. The Arizona Cardinals will never be in the top two,
Nope.
in my opinion, because like I said, this is where all the old timers go to finish out their career. Just like how people retire there, you're going there to finish off your career with Arizona. You're not going to get nowhere. They'll always know. But the bottom line for me, I don't agree with you on the Niners taking over the Rams at number one. I think the Rams will still be there. Again, it's going to be a close race between the Rams and the Niners. I think the Niners are going to be very well improved because they are stacked. I'm gonna put the Niners at number two, the Seahawks at three, and the Cardinals at four.
Okay.
Here we go. The NFC North.
Oh yeah.
Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings.
Man.
I'm gonna go first because mine's gonna be shorter than yours.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Anyway.
Right. I see the Bears repeating.
Okay.
They're on a tear. They're getting their shit together. I was very impressed with the way they played on both sides of the ball. I'm gonna say Bears number one. Packers are gonna refine themselves. I think because we're getting close to that final years of Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
So I think they got massively things to prove this season. So I'm gonna go Bears and then the Packers. Vikings. I really never got into the Vikings, except for when it was Case Keenum and Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Those days, those were good. But I'm gonna go Bears, Packers, Lions, Vikings.
Okay.
And I say the Lions will finish 6-10, maybe.
Okay.
Don't make it long, dude. It's already 1:30.
Nope. I give you the Bears. I see them going 11 and
11 and 5 is
12 and
yep,
4 again.
absolutely.
Because Khalil Mack.
Oh, dude, he's yeah.
Completely changes the defense.
Yo,
As soon as he went there,
he demolished everybody. That to me was probably one of the best transactions in the NFL in at least 15 years. Seeing Khalil Mack go from the Raiders to the Bears and just totally destroyed everybody. I am so impressed with that guy. Yeah.
It was crazy, and I do give the Lions the second spot.
No.
I think they go 8-8.
Nah.
I mean, I give them 8-8 realistically. Hopefully, I give them 10-6 because they did improve on their defense.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not.
The best slot
Yeah.
cornerback.
I'm not going to disagree with you there.
If Damian Harrison does play, we have Deshaun Hand, we have Trey Flowers, we have Romeo Aguara, we have Devon Kennard, we have a stacked defense.
Oh yeah,
Offense,
absolutely.
we got Danny Amendola now.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kenny Galladay. We have Marvin Jones, who it's preseason and it's practice, but he looks far more better than he has even since he first started with the Lions. We have, to me, I think T.J. Hawkinson is probably going to be a great tight end.
Couple years.
I think he's going to help Stafford with being his security blanket. Jesse James is going to be good. The offensive line is still being tweaked, but I feel like that's going to be stronger this year. I don't think it's completely done. I think one more probably first-round draft pick or a really good off-season transaction or even a trade. I think Kerryon Johnson can be 1,000 yards plus running back. He's also great out of the backfield with the ball. I see C.J. Anderson and Zach Zenner being very good power backs behind Kerryon Johnson. And I see Stafford coming out with a 4,000 plus year, probably 30 touchdowns as well. I see the Packers being third because Aaron Rodgers is on the decline. Last year, he did not play well. I give them 2-3 years till he's gone, and I give them completely bottom of the division for a while. And then at the bottom, I give the Vikings because Kirk Cousins is a worse version of Stafford. He pats on the stats, but he has transcending talent all around him. Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, Dalvin Cook. He's got an amazing defense. And what did they do? They only won 8, 7-1. How? When your roster is completely built from the bottom up.
Yeah, see, but that's the same. That's the same thing you can argue with the Lions. It's the same thing. Why? You have a team that is stacked all the way across the board. You should be a 12-4, a 13-3 team, but it's always 7-9, 5-10, 5-11, 4-12, 7-9, 7-9, 8-8. Come on, it's what you're saying right now is the same exact thing that the Lions are every single year. We have a Super Bowl contending team every year on paper, and it never happens. So there's only one explanation for that, and that is the way they're coached.
Yep.
Bottom
I
line.
agree with that.
Bottom line.
Next.
So, but anyway, the last one, and we'll end it after this because it's already going on 1:30 in the morning. Oh no, you're good. This is gonna be tough. The Atlanta Falcons, the Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I give the Saints number 1.
Oh
Easily.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
That defense, it's just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I give the second spot to the Falcons. I guess I don't think they make the playoffs because I don't think Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. I think he has talent everywhere, so no matter where he throws the ball, his team's gonna catch it. I mean, he's got Austin Hooper, he's got Julio Jones, he's got Mohamed Sanu, he's got Devontae Freeman. He did have Tevin Coleman, but he's gone to the 49ers as well. Like, Matt Ryan has a stacked team. So no matter what he does, they make him look good.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. It's not even the coaching, it's the talent.
Yep.
Across the board. Who else is there? Bruce Arians is a genius for quarterbacks, so I believe he helps the Bucs be the third. And I think the Falcons go 9-7, miss the playoffs. I think the Bucs go 8-8, and they just barely lose. And who's the other team?
Well, it means you're taking the Panthers dead last.
I take the Panthers dead last. I think they go 8-8 as well, but I think they lose the tiebreakers because Cam Newton, when he's on, and he helps the team. But
that's true.
He's getting hurt a lot as well because he likes to take those hits. He likes to hit into people. He likes to try to truck people, but that's been his downfall. And that also he had that Super Bowl fumble that he could have, picked up, but he didn't.
Yep.
I won't say he's a coward. I'm just saying I wouldn't put him in my top 10 for quarterbacks, and I wouldn't want him playing for the Lions. I give Christian McCaffrey a really, really good year for him, but the Panthers as a whole, other than Luke Kuechly and Christian McCaffrey, I don't see them doing anything.
Interesting. Now me, of course, Saints all the way. We've gotten many fights with Miss T out there. If you're listening to this, if you do check us out, which I'm sure you will, I definitely got to mention T out there. Tisha Nyquin, we love you, we miss you, and thanks for the fun laughs that we had. We all the fun we had with the New Orleans Saints post. That was funny.
Sorry, it's great pulling here, right?
But yeah, it's definitely the Saints all the way again. They are the unstoppable force. But the unmovable object this year, again, I agree with, is going to be Atlanta. I think they're going to definitely turn it around from last year's miserable season. I think they're going to make a comeback in a big way this time. I think they're going to see the Saints and the Falcons clash, and each game this year they play against each other is going to be amazing, and it's going to be a battle. I say 11-5 for the Saints, 10-6 for the Falcons, Panthers, and then the Bucs. Tampa Bay don't do nothing for me. They never have, and they just can't get out of the cellar either. I still think Carolina Panthers will miss out on the playoffs. I don't see them going, like you said, 6-10. I see them more around 7-9, maybe 8-8. Cam Newton, he's the wild card right now.
Yep.
He's been very inconsistent the past couple of years, so I want to see. I really do want to see him turn it around
Yeah.
because I love Cam Newton. I've always liked him,
Yep.
and it's just it's a shame seeing him go down the way he is. And Christian McCaffrey, one of the best receivers in the league. I love that guy so much. He's it's like.
He's like that hybrid of.
Yeah, he could do it, but that's the thing is he can do it all. I mean, just like the way Travis Kelce can with Kansas City, it's the same thing, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen here. I will save the next thing I want to do for next time because it's getting late. So my battery's down to 2%. So yeah, it's a perfect time to sit here and call it a night. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot more to come, especially when the regular season starts. What is it, September 3rd this year? September 4th, something like that. So yeah, we'll probably do it sparingly. Sparingly until the regular season. We'll be switching into full high gear once the regular season starts because there's going to be a lot of things to talk about. Absolutely, I have a feeling this is going to be one of the more wilder seasons this year than the past couple because of especially just for all the transactions alone.
Yep.
A lot of players in different places. And
Gronk retiring.
oh, thank God.
I forgot Jason Witten actually came back out of retirement.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he's going to be playing for the Cowboys. So
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's going to add into factor to the equation too. But still, that wild card is always going to be Ezekiel Elliott. See what's going to happen here.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't like the Cowboys. I rag on the guys at work about them too. But like I said, I have the utmost respect for Van Der Esch though because of his cousin. I always call him Van Der Esch. I always yell his name and shit like that. So.
Yep.
Other than that, like I said, we'll get into more on the next episode we do this. I know I didn't want to go this long, but once we go with it, we run with the ball. I mean, it's not no pun intended. We just took the ball and we ran with it. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I know I did. This was very fun, and I think this is going to be a great season. So yeah, once we get all the kinks worked out, things will be better. We're just starting this podcast off, so as later down the road, once we figure things out, we'll probably have our own little theme song and drop in some sound bites here and there throughout the show and make it a lot of fun for everybody out there listening. So until next time, for the Pick Six podcast, I am your host, Larry Szynski, and my hetero life mate of football,
Danny Waiter.
A little more energy.
Oh, Danny Waiter. And make sure all of you Pick Sixes out there, just remember, take it for a touchdown. Have a good night.